Well, I guess cancel culture strikes again. The SJWs strike again. The Karens, if you will, strike again, because apparently Pepe Le Pew, who is one of the more iconic Looney Tune characters out there, for the time being, will no longer be associated with anything Looney Tunes wise, any kind of Looney Tunes media of any kind. The reason being is because, well, basically what I would assume represents, it's no doubt and it's no question as to the fact that Pepe has been one of those characters that was created back in the mid to late 40s, and has gone on to be one of the most well-renowned popular characters of all times when it comes to the Looney Tune characters. But there's no question that nowadays, throughout the years, throughout the decades, that he's also been looked at as a character that has a very controversial background to him. And what I mean by controversial background, it's all due to it's all due to the fact that the main gist of his animated shorts, his animated stories, if you will, is him chasing after a female cat who he mistakes for a femme skunk fatale, as he would say. So, so it's understandable, looking back on it now, essentially almost, 60 years since his creation, throughout those 6 decades, looking at the fact that maybe his characteristics were not the best idea to go with when it comes to a character whose main goal is to find romance, to find that right individual that he could make love with and spend the rest of his days with. And the way it was done and portrayed, one could understand that nowadays it doesn't come off very well, especially with everything that's happened in the public media over the past 6 decades, if not the past, couple of decades or several decades. So it's understandable as to why, Pepe would be in a circumstance right now to where, his character would be questioned, would be looked at, I should say, as being very controversial and questionable to have around. So the decision, unfortunately, to remove him from the Looney Tunes catalog for the time being, it's unfortunate, and it could have been handled more properly. Like, they could have just altered his personality a little bit, to where you wouldn't get that, kind of like persona that he's been known for. If they would have done it more appropriately like that, I think, they could have kept him around. I think they could have kept him still, as a part of the Looney Tunes projects for the foreseeable future. But because of the fact that he's looked at because of what, he was about, the way he was portrayed, and everything, it's very understandable as to, again, why, they decided to make the decision they did. Do I think it was a hasty decision? Absolutely. But if you don't want to, look at it like this. Look at it like this. The WWE, even though there was footage all over the network of Chris Benoit performing, the WWE has come out of the way and said, we don't know who you're talking about. This Benoit that you see on the television, he's portrayed by somebody else. They're not acknowledging him as being a real person anymore, which is why they put that, that description, that, that guidance, if you will, that parental guidance kind of thing, or that statement at the beginning of a lot of their matches, if you will, a lot of the events on the network, especially those that involve Benoit. They're basically trying to distance themselves from him, even though the event that they're going to showcase has him involved. So they have to kind of bring out a statement or something like that by stating, hey, these characters are fictional, you know, they're portrayed by actors and actresses, thus kind of basically trying to get around that whole situation. And Warner Brothers, of all people, should know this better than anyone, because they're the ones that put up the statement that, you know, a lot of the cartoons that they would show on the Blu-rays and all that were of their time, and they weren't appropriate then and they're not appropriate now. So I look at it, the fact that, again, I can understand why they did this, but I think it may have been done too hastily. And to me, it should have been handled more appropriately and more professionally. Now, do I think we'll see Pepe again? Oh, absolutely. I think what they're going to have to do for the time being, though, is alter his, like I said, what they should have done in the first place, is alter his personality. You know, if they would have altered his background, his personality, you know, before this all came out, then yeah, I think he would still be around. But to me, you know, I think honestly we will see him again, but I think what they're going to do is take this time to essentially you know, kind of reevaluate his character and maybe reboot him a little bit, to where you get a little bit of those remnants of the old Pepe, but it's a whole new kind of like persona that comes with it. But yeah, unfortunately right now, because of the environment we're in, the world we're in, he's just another victim of the cancel culture, SJW Karen pandemic that, you know, is pretty much ruining all of entertainment, if you know what I mean, no matter what kind of entertainment you're into. But let me know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on Pepe Le Pew no longer, as you know, at least for the time being associated as a Looney Tune? Do you think we'll see him again? And do you think by seeing him again, they might take the time that they have him off the charts, if you will, out of the picture, to reevaluate his character and maybe reboot him to where, as I said moments ago, we might get remnants of the old Pepe, but mostly we have a new persona to go with him. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Comment if you like. Love to hear from each and every one of you on this. And I am out.